Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, so welcome again for a new subject. Today we will discuss about the payment. But before we go to the payment, I want to make sure, okay, that all of you went through with the change control management lecture, if I am correct. Some of you new badges, very latest badges not attended, but uh, previous badges already had a variation lecture, isn't it? Yes, say yes. Okay, is my voice is low or good enough?
Unmute.
Okay, okay then. So let's start. So today we will see some component of the change control management, and this component you supposed to receive with the change control management lecture. But the people who not yet attend, no worries, you will have this lecture. But I want to give some material for those who attended. Now, before we continue, we have the struggling with some candidate here. Make sure whenever you join, you use your ID. It doesn't turbulent us. Okay, and we are monitoring your performance. So that's I have delivered many times this information to all of you. But look at the people who is doesn't use the proper ID, or they are not complying with our instruction. Really irritating, seriously. So the people who don't obey the instruction, I say it very clearly. We are going to help you when you are in trouble. So we are monitoring. There are so many tracks. Okay, which classes you attend, which class you don't attend, which class came late, where you are on time, and which class you didn't use the ID properly. We have the records for that one. So I don't want to entertain this. Please change your ID, everybody. Otherwise, the coordinator will remove you. Okay, so you can see those how many people are joining this program. They already put their right ID, and only you can say 5% of the candidate having this problem. And many times we are talking the same things. So yes, if you don't change the ID, I think coordinator will remove. Uh, Priya, you can take action on that one. Now let's go to the subject, and I'm going to show you some material. So before I show the material, yeah, we will remove the unnecessary people from here. This material is something very worthy for you, and I don't want to give this material to every one of you if you have today ID problem. Okay, so I don't want to care. So now let's go to the this material, very useful. Look at this one. Okay, you are doing the changes, right? Variations in your project. So you should know, okay, how to do that one. So we have the variation format. Okay, so I'm going to give you some format that is going to be very helpful for you. It is going to be used in your day-to-day practice in your work. First of all, now there's a four forms, right? The change control. Yeah. So this material you are all going to receive except the people who have the ID issues. You understand? The ID issue people I am trying to eliminate from the programs. Actually, I'm done with them. So many time I heard talk. So this is a time to dismiss from the program. It's really uncomfortable for me and my team because when the person joining like a user, you have to understand our problem. Okay, the person joining as a meeting as a user, or Dell or HP, how we can identify, okay, he's who actually. How we can trace his attendance? There's no way. Okay, so those people we don't want to entertain. Okay, so let's see. This material is belong to you. You'll get it. Don't worry. And let's see this one. This is a request for change, right? You know how it was. I think in the lecture you will see this format already. Yes or no? The lecture series you did this format, and the assessor already explained. Yeah, but the actual one, yeah, this is the one I'm going to give you all. So you can use it. It's a ready made, and you can use this one for your work. So I'm not going to explain what is a request for change and all. You done already. If it is not done, then we will do it in the upcoming lectures. Okay, we can do it in the upcoming lecture. For those people still not done with the thing, but those already done, you have this format. Okay, I'm going to give you today, and the approval request form. So this is a second form that you are going to use in the change control process. So this is very important form that employer giving the approval. So you can use it or you can build your one using the Excel. But this is the format for you. Yeah, it's a format for you. Then okay, third one, engineer instruction. The engineer, okay, when he got the approval from the okay, when he got the approval from the employer to proceed with the changes, then this is a form. So you can use it. It is helpful for you. Okay, it is just a form. Then you must know, you must have the variation log. So variation log, we have the two parties. One is the engineer, consultant also have the variation log, and the contractor also have the variation log, right? So this is a consultant variation log. So this consultant variation log, look, depend on your organization, right? It may be vary, but it is a standard I am giving you. You can modify the way you want. Okay, you can you can you can use your own format, own content. But I will give you this sample. You can put the serial number, and you can put the RFC number, then ARF number, then EI number. Then put the instruction detail. Okay. Then you put the amount. What was the instruction? Okay. Then proposed values. So that means approval request form is different. That consultant, okay, doing. But when the contractor send the proposal, it is not the same, right? It is different because he might go with his own estimation. So that is different. But finally, AVI, the agreed value of the instruction, where we are closing, that is another things. Okay. These are different actually. So, but when it is come to the different, why ARF different from the contractor proposal? As a consultant, you must have the justification. And why finally AVI different compared to the ARF and the uh, contractor proposal? You must have the justification. Then you have to have the status like approved, pending, rejected. It's fine. So these are the basic information. So you can trace how many variation is still okay, not approved or pending to approve. So then you can put the remarks in the way you want. This is a sample log for the consultant. So as a consultant, have you used this kind of form? Yes. Is it anything missing here? Is it anything missing here? Approval date. Okay. So yeah, if it is approved, okay, approval date. We can mention that also. Anything else?
Contractor submitted amount.
That is here. This one. Contractor proposal.
Request for variation.
No, it is a contractor RFC number. Okay, RFC number is here, but request for changes can be done by anyone. Okay, so it's not a always contractor. Maybe you can say RFC number. Because request for change can be made by anyone. Okay, so we will remove this name. So you told okay, state approved date, isn't it? Right. So if it is approved only, the approved date will become. Okay, so we can mention yeah approved date.
This the NOV notification for variation and then AFC are same or different. They
Notification of the variation is not the case. What we are discussing here, that is different. That is notice. That is not a part of the form.
we
Yes.
prior to send the notification and then we will get the acknowledgement from the consultant and then we will start to submit that one. That's a procedure. So we are as a contractor QS, I am maintaining with this number NOV numbers. That's why I'm asking.
Notification is different. Okay. But you need if you want to proceed with the variation as a contractor. Now let's go to the contractor one. Okay, let's go with the first consultant. Now consultant, is there anything else?
Actually,
Status of
yes,
variation is here.
you may
Is
add
here.
on the top like some information about the project and the contract
Is
value,
here.
and after the approval, how much the contract varies, the total contract
Yeah.
varies.
That project particulars, what you can put project name, contract title, contractor number, the date. Okay,
And
you
the
have to put the
contract,
date. Yeah,
then
even
when
you can
whatever
put the
approval,
contract value, start date, and date. It's fine. You can do whatever the customization is fine. Here you can have the summary like how much approved, how much rejected, how much pending. It's a brief, and also you will have your logos. Fine. So I think the consultant form is fine. Okay. Now let's go to the contractor side. Now the contractor will, variation logs are a little bit different from the consultant because now basically in the top you will see the typical detail. This is subject. You can add whatever the way you want. Information will be there. Okay. There's no hard and fast rule. But normally the forms will be agreed by the both parties. So this is the internal form of the contractor. So nothing to talk to the employer. So let's go. What is there? Now serial number. Okay, you are going to have the serial number. Okay. So variation number. Okay. So the variation number you will have your variation number. Then that variation number you have the description. Each variation you have the engineer instruction. Now if you don't have the EI, okay, that problem. So when you are finding out the variations, okay, you are sending the notification, but without EI, can you submit the variation proposal? What do
No,
you
you
think?
can't.
You can't. So that's a problematic one. So you must have the engineer instruction. Let's say you are going for a variation number 134. Okay. Then engineer asks, did I give you the instruction? No. Then he will not receive this. Then the engineer instruction, okay, keep the mic mute, please. The engineer instruction, you can put the engineer instruction and the date. Then the notice of variation, if you have, you can put here. But it is optional. Okay, it is not very important compared to the EI. EI is very important. Then your proposed value, that is a contractor proposal. Approved mean why? What do you mean by approved? The AVI.
After engineer's review.
Yeah, actually that we call in the consultant file AVI. Okay, agreed value of instruction. Then if anything not resolved, then you can keep it separate one. How much you claim, how much approved, how much pending. So that is the things. Okay. So
So
This
do you
is
mean
a
pending amount means there are items that is not agreed on?
yes. If it is approved, it is approved. So it's approved amount here. If it is pending, then it is another pending. So you can see it separately how much the value is still you have to claim. Okay. Okay. So this is a live format. It's a live format. You can use it immediately with the modification, whatever the way you want, or you take the content and you can add more information too. If you want, you can add the RFC number, right?
One more
Everything you can
question.
do. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, Now, this actually you told us in the regarding this various engineering instruction, but
Mm.
my current project, we usually we find in the comments in the material submittal some sub drawing comments.
Hold on.
Through that one,
Okay.
we usually send the NOV,
Mm-hmm.
and then NOV, after NOV they will send the acknowledgement from the engineer side. No,
Mm-hmm.
proceed. Otherwise, it will be rejected. The two, either two, it will happen. They will say, okay, submit your proposal within 28 site, and then we will submit. So I can't see any instruction on it. So only the acknowledgement, then instruction. Can we take that acknowledgement as an instruction? So how it will be?
Have you attended the variation lecture?
No, no, no. I don't.
No. Okay. Wait for until it happens.
Okay.
Okay. Your question is correct because you are not aware about what is going on from the consultant side. So that we will unlock during the lecture. Okay. I want to give already some people attend, so I want to give them only. So don't worry about this. You will get to know. So yes, this is a AVI file. Okay, very important file. This is a file you people are looking for. How to submit the change control, or how to finalize the variation. Is that correct? You understand? So batch number 27, just and 28, and those people I think you didn't attend the variation. So just leave it until I finish with the other people. So I think the back side 26, 25, 24, these people attended. So now you are the people looking for a file, how to prepare the proper professional variation, right? It's a consultant site. Yes, the consultant site is the final end. So in the consultant site, what we have, okay, we have a format. This format will help you a lot when you are really doing a work at site. So can you focus, everyone? Actually, the old batches up to 26. Okay. So now there is a AVI. Okay. AVI is a one form. You know that one. So there you put the basic detail. Okay. Here information, whatever you put. This is connected. Okay. This is connected from the introduction. Say when you go for introduction, it's coming from the cell number B9. Okay. B9, what it is how? Okay. They will give an introduction about this variation. So that information, whatever you enter here, okay, it will be reflect here. It's automatic. Scope of work. So every variation come with the scope of work. So that scope of work, okay, we have the separate file here. Look at this. So whatever you are putting here, it's going to be reflect here. So this is a scope of work. Then AVI, agreed value of instruction. That is a final amount you are going to agree. So that's going to be the amount that's going to be, okay, you are going to put under the EI number because the final and the amount you are going to put. Okay. So it's going to become in the summary. Summary is the one you are going to put the final amount. So ARF, who submit the ARF? The old pages. Answer this. Who submit the ARF?
Consultant.
Engineer. So consultant. Yeah. So he put the his proposal. Look at the value. Okay, this is different. AVI value may be different from the ARF and the cost proposal which is submitted by the contractor. So if there's any different, you have to give the reason why it is differing. So okay, here I put the comments. ARF stage, you have mentioned some risk contingency. So now it is not there, and there are small correction in the quantities. You are raising the ARF, it is estimation. It's not a perfect. Okay. Then contractor proposal. If the contractor proposal matching with the AVI, then there's no comments. Let's say if there's a proposal and the AVI values are different, then you have to put the comments like whatever the reason. So this is the first form. You are going to print it and put it in the file. Then checklist. Okay, this is a quality assurance checklist. You go through, you will understand all of them. Who want to check this? Contractor, consultant, engineer. Okay. So sometime the CQS also they are some client will hire the consultant QS separately cost consultant. So if they are the case, then this is applicable for those people. Otherwise, this all marked will be part of the engineer. Okay. Finally, you have to the contractor have to submit this document. So he will check and sign. Then CQS will check and sign. Finally, engineer will check and sign. So three party will sign. Okay. So now we'll go to the AVI. So in the AVI, keep the mic mute, please. Until I finish, please don't interrupt. So AVI, then I will give you time for you to ask the question. So AVI, you are going to put the basic detail, whatever you want to put, and the scope of work. Sorry, that means the engineer instruction, how the description, you mentioned the same thing with the information. So it is connected from the introduction again, see. So if you feel it will work, and the cover page. Okay, so it is you have to check it where it's coming from. Now there is a addition omission happening within the BOQ. To put all of them, and finally this is a value you are agreeing. So then both contractor will sign and contractor will sign. 1 second. So then the engineer also have to sign and the CQS also have to sign. That means you are agreeing, okay, this is a final value. Okay, so that is a one form. So this form is agreement of the final value. Okay, now let's go to the internal detail information. So let's have the cover pages. So cover pages is up to you how many folder you have to have it. It doesn't matter how many folder you want to have it.
Depending on the supporting documents that you have.
Yeah, but it is a standard. What I have recommending you is up to you. You can improve more. So first introduction. So let's put the flyer here. It's a flyer sheet. Okay, that means the fly sheet. So it is a introduction. Okay, so it's a section 1 introduction. Look at this. If you see the printing layout, okay, it should be like this introduction. Okay, so it's a flyer. Then inside one paper you are going to put about the variation, why objective of this variation, how it was triggered, why this variation in place. That is the introduction. So somebody reading why this instruction come in principle. Then we have the section 2 instruction. Now what is the instruction mean? Tell me what I have to attach under this section. I have to print it and I have to attach something. What is that? Yes, below that there will be engine instruction. Very good. Now third section, so somebody see, okay, they can see the instruction. Okay, then third section, I am going to have it scope of work. So within the scope of work, okay, you are going to mention list all the scope of work. Don't price it, just list it. Everybody know what was the scope of work done under this particular instruction. Okay. Then under the section 4, we have the valuation of the variation. That means we are going to attach the BOQ. So in the BOQ, we have the BOQ page, in the summary page, and the summary. If you have for the summary, like sometime, okay, you have the very final summary and you have the sub summary. It's up to you. But what we want under the section 4, a BOQ. Okay, my voice is audible. Say audible.
Audible.
No, just
Yeah,
I
audible.
okay, thank you. This is BOQ. So I don't want to insist anything on the format about the BOQ. You just take care about that, what you are following in your project. Okay. Then section 5. Section 5, rate breakdown. Now let's say um, if you have any item, okay, you are going to price them within the variation. Let's say you are using the BOQ rate. Then this there are two different sections. Let's have it. One is the rate we are using from the BOQ. So those rate backup we can put under this section 6 backup information. That means BOQ rates. So somebody seeing where this reference come from, it is already there. And also in the BOQ also we are mentioning, look at this, the where this bill number and the bill number reference. Okay, so they can go and see this one, the BOQ reference. Do you understand? I'll freeze it so you can understand that BOQ reference are how it is very important. So look at this. So how much where the bill number, where, how much reference. So that will come under okay rate backup. It's straightforward. Now here there's another section here. Now you are going to go for a okay BOQ rate, and there are sometime you are using the BOQ rate and you are preparing the new rate. That is called adjusted rate. Okay, adjusted rate mean what? This is a you use the BOQ rate, BOQ element, and you did small modification. It is agreed. So that adjusted rate backup you are going to put here. I'll give you that format. Okay. Then sometime completely you are going to have the new rates. Okay. New rate mean what? It is not adjusted rate. It is completely new rate. Then you can put them as a new rate separate.
New rate means new item.
Okay. Then sorry. Then we have the measurement. So in the measurement, you are going to put the detailed measurement. How did you measure? Maybe you can attach the plan suite software or any marked drawings. It's a backup for the measurement with the detailed coordination, grid lines, everything. Okay, so that should be agreed by both party. And you can put any relevant correspondence, like you have sent the email for a request for changes or any notification for the email or correspondences for a notification. Everything will come under this section 8, and section 9 will come for a markup drawing. Okay, if in case say let's say the detailed measurement you are giving the grid line or quantities where it come from, the markup drawing will help to review those quantity easily. Okay, then the section 10 you can put some time. Okay, some time only. Why I'm saying some time, the program each and every variation we cannot do you understand? Because we have to see combinedly how each and every variation impacted the time for completion. So what we can do, yeah, what we can do, we can put the provision for a program. Contractor reserve the right to claim for extension of time, but he will wait until the the certain time period, because he need to reserve the right. So it will be like a one claim you have to make it for extension of time, delay notice, because of this variation. So that will be live. That will be live, but this variation cost only you are going to close without prolongation cost. So this is a normal practice you do. Okay. So have you all using this kind of format? Yeah. Are you all following? No. Okay. I will give you. It will be very helpful for you. Okay. So yes. Let me check what is this inside. You have to open and see. Okay. You have to open and see. Yeah. Anyway, I will check the latest file which is, and I am going to send you. Okay, so it will be very helpful. Okay, see, I think it's the latest file. I have updated this differ. Okay, so if not different, then not applicable. That no comments here. So I think this is the latest file. I will send to you. So use it. Okay, now not finished. Okay, so this is one. Okay, the view format. Yes, there are some file I have which is confidential. I cannot send it. Okay, because it is having the project detail. But all information which I have extract, that's more than enough to understand. So this is something additional information I want to give for the people who attended the variation lecture. Okay, so hope it will be very great helpful for you all. Expect that information by tomorrow. Now let's continue from where we stopped. Now last class, okay, we discussed about the payments. So those payment, now we had an introduction. What will be the problem if you don't receive the payment? If there's any problem from the employer side or contractor side, what is going to happen? This information, okay, we discussed. Okay, now we will see uh, some more information. Now look at this. In the FIDIC, do we have the payment format? There's no application, interim payment application format available within the FIDIC. Yes. Yes. So, but we are going to unlock that format here by understanding how, okay, it is very helpful. That is the reason I told you every single subclause we went through with the training. It's very helpful now to define that format. That format is actually hidden. Okay, so let us go to the subclause 14.3. All of you. Page number. Yeah, what is the page number? 41. This is the subclause. Just carefully listen, okay? This is a subclause actually hiding that format. Okay, so we are going to unlock that format. Simple word, FIDIC already supposed to have this format which is in their appendices, but they didn't. But anyhow, we are going to unlock them. So it says the 14.3, the statement shall include the following item. A, the estimated, okay, contract value of the work executed. Okay, then up to the end of the month, including the variation but excluding the item described in subparagraph B to G below. Okay, so what is that subparagraph say? Okay, this is going to be a first part of the payment application. What they say? Estimated contract value of the work executed, including the variation. So let's go to the format. In the format, okay, we are going to have a first item. Okay, if you have the first item in the payment application, that is going to be a value of the work done, including the preliminaries, variation, day work, provision sum, everything. So that's A plus B. Do you understand? So I will go back to the FIDIC again. It is very clearly say, okay, these are the two items will be appear in the payment application. So if you can, okay, if you can go and understand this one. Now let us understand what this item supposed to be. So under the subclause 12, if you go here, value of the works executed. So let us understand what is that. All of you go to the subclause 12. Okay, subclause 12. Page number. Okay. So this subclause 12.1, what it says, the work to be measured. Okay, the work to be measured. So this subclause 12.1 explain the procedure for measurement. Note down, okay? It is explaining the procedure for the measurement. How you want to measure this? Okay. So all of you go to the subclause 1.1.4. Subclause 1.1.4. I told you before in one lecture, the page number 3, okay? Money and the payment. You must be very familiar with all the defined wording here under the subclause 1.1.4. Do you understand? Okay. So it is giving a clear idea. What is this defined word standing for? Fine. So now let us understand this 12.1, how this is explained the principle. Okay, how you want to do the measurement. So work shall be measured and valued for payment. Do you understand this wording? We heard a similar wording, yes, in the type of contract lecture. When I am talking about the measure and value, it is said same thing, right? Measured and valued for payment. Do you understand? This type of contract embedded within this FIDIC red book is originally a measure and value. If no work done, will you pay? Answer me. If you don't find any work done, you don't measure. If you don't measure, you don't value them. You don't pay them. Therefore, the works shall be measured and valued for payment in accordance with this clause. Whenever the engineer regards any part of the work to be measured, reasonable notice shall be given to the contractor representative who shall, okay, promptly either attend or send another qualified representative to assist the engineer in making the measurement. If, okay, second, supply any particular requested by the engineer, that means documents. Now look at this final word. If the contractor fails to attend or send a representative, the measurement made by the or on behalf of the engineer shall be accepted as accurate. Okay. So do you understand? It's very clearly saying you have to do sometime joint measurement. The engineer requested to do so, you have to cooperate with them. If you don't cooperate, they will finalize the measurement. You must agree. That's what he say. Engineer shall be, okay, the shall be accepted as accurate. That means you have to accept their quantity. Okay. Now further it says, except as otherwise. Okay, before I move on, okay, have you all marked down this, all the highlights? Have you all done the marking? Have you all marked down? This is explained 12.1 about the procedure for measurement. You should know.
Excuse me. So I have a doubt.
Yes.
Can I go now? So it clearly says that the engineer has to request the contractor to attend this measurement and evaluation, right?
Yes.
If the consultant fails to invite the contractor, what will happen?
engineer failed to invite the contractor. Is that?
The engineer fails to invite the contractor because we have a similar
Uh,
situation here.
and okay, I will give you some clarity because you should understand. If the consultant unable to verify the method, that means the work done, then he need to do the joint measurement. Otherwise, he can rely on the particulars given by like a mark drawings, right, as build drawing or any documents given by the contractor, including the quality assurance note reports, everything also reflecting the way, quantity sometime. So if he can make it, then he don't call for a contractor to come. Now, where he has the contradiction, only he will invite the contractor. Okay, let's do the joint measurement. Now, let's say the case there is a contradiction with the quantity, opinion wise, engineer and the contractor quantities are not matching. Then consultant, okay, didn't invite them. That means they didn't follow the contractual procedure because it say the engineer require any part of the work to be measured. Reasonable notice shall be. It is not optional. It is a rights. Do you understand? Contractor rights. You do, and it is obligation of the engineer. Otherwise, how the contractor can manage this? I think you got the clarity now.
Thank you.
Okay. So further it says,
I have a
except
question.
as otherwise. Yeah, go ahead.
In the previous page or in this previous screen, it says reasonable notice shall be. This notice is through what? Email, letter, or any type of communication, or it should be a professional
Okay.
notice.
Okay. Oh, I understand. Right. The subclause 1.3, all of you go to the subclause 1.3. Communication. Okay, according to that, okay, that should be agreed by the party. Whether you have to give the notification by email, then that's fine. Or by correspondence, that's fine. So that, or even the data electronic document management system like Arconex is fine. So it is, should be agreed. This subclause 1.3 define how you are going to communicate. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So now let's see. Except as otherwise stated in the contract, wherever any permanent works to be measured from records. You see, it says records. Okay. These shall be prepared by the engineer. The contractor shall, and when requested, attend to examine and agree the records with the engineer. And all again shall sign the same when agreed. If the contractor does not attend, the record shall be accepted as accurate. That means, look, two places it says you have to respond. If you don't respond, you have to agree with the work done by the engineer. Okay. So that's you have to careful. It is all you have to cooperate or coordinate with them carefully. If the contractor examines and disagrees the record and or does not sign them as the agreed, then the contractor shall give notice to the engineer of the respects in which the records are asserted to be inaccurate. After receiving this notice, the engineer shall review the records and either confirm or vary them. If the contractor does not so give notice to the engineer within 14 days after being requested to examine the records, they shall be accepted as accurate. So this is a subclause 12.1. Very clearly say how you want to proceed with the measurement. Because if you are not proceeding with the measurement properly, then we can't value it. Do you understand? So this is the subclause. Okay, talk about the very important things. Now 12.2, the subclause 12.2. This subclause explain about how to measure. Mark it, okay? The 12.1 talk about the way of measuring. In 12.2, it talk about how to measure. So here, except as otherwise stated in the contract, and notwithstanding local practice, measurements shall be made of the net actual quantity of each item of the permanent work. Okay, so you are having the combined, that means cumulative quantities for each works. That's how we do this work. Okay, so permanent work, it says actual quantity of each item of the permanent works. Okay, not temporary works. Temporary works not here. And it says the method of measurement shall be in accordance with the bill of quantity or other applicable schedule. Look at this 12.2b. Okay, so it's talk about the method of measurement, right? So if you are using any standard method of measurement, 12.2b is the particular condition you have to mention which standard. Do you understand? 12.2 you can mention which standard.
Sorry,
Otherwise,
does that mean the method of measurement when to follow the method of measurement when this bill of quantity was prepared?
yes, like
Can
a
you?
POMI or NRM2 or SMM7, that should be known.
So we have
But if
to
you,
we have to know. So we have to know that the bill of quantity of this particular project was following POMI. So then we have to do it through POMI.
yes, exactly. But I will ask you one task. Check in your contract where this method of measurement mentioned. Mostly you don't find it. Most of the contract even they are silent. Okay, where this method of measurement come from, which standard they are following. You can check it. Okay, you can check it and you can understand from some project they mention. That's good. But most of the project you don't find which standard method of measurements are used in this particular project. Okay, plus applicable schedules. Applicable schedules mean there are so many other pricing documents. Okay, so you have to refer to them. Okay, now 12.3 talk about how to price. Okay, I'm telling the keyword. Okay, I told 12.1 what did he say, 12.2 what did he say, 12.3 talk about how to price. Can you note down? Okay, so 12.2, sorry, 12.3 talk about the how to price. And this one, except as otherwise stated in the contract, engineer shall proceed in accordance with the subclause 3.5, determination to agree or determine the contract price by evaluating the each item of work, applying the measurement agreed or determined in accordance with the above subclause 12.1 and 12.2, and the appropriate rate or price for the item. Now 12.3, we have to understand very carefully. Okay, you have to have the good understanding. So how to price? This is talk about how to price. So further it says for each item of work, the appropriate rate or price for the item shall be the rate or price specified for such item in the contract. Or if there is no such item specified for similar work, however, a new rate or price shall be appropriate for an item if the work. Okay, now let's understand what this talk. This subclause talk. Now, if you are measuring any work, okay, definitely the measure and value contract, isn't it? So we are going to use the measure and value contract. That contract basis a rate. Do you understand? The contract basis is the rate. We are going to use the contract price or rate. But there are situations you have to go for a new rate if the following condition apply. Now let us see what condition it says. Okay. The first one is talk about 12.3a. Note down there. Okay. Next to the 12.3a, you have the space. No. Yeah. You note down. It is a varied rate. You can put the title for that. Put the title here. You see, varied rate. Can you note down there? Okay. I think the people done with the variation lecture already you covered the subclause, but anyhow, I will explain. Some people don't attend that, so let's explain here. So this varied rate, what it is says, the measured quantity of the item, measured quantity of the item is changed by more than 10% from the quantity of this item in the bill of quantity or other schedule. Okay. So you know what is the type of contract Red Book used? What is the type of contract Red Book?
Measure and value.
Measure and value. Why measure and value? Why we are going for a measure and value generally? Any reason to go for a measure and value contract?
Design is not final.
Design is not final. Very good. Scope of work is not clear, right? Where we have a problem to agree the final. So we are going for a problem where we can agree the final quantity. So now it is there are contradiction. Okay. There are contradiction. Did I notice to you already there are subclauses to one subclause talk, no, it is considered to be accurate. Another subclause talk, no, it is approximate quantity within the Red Book. Did you notice that subclause? Did I told you before? Yes or no? No? The answer is yes, but you people not remember. Anyone remember? What is the subclause number? Contradiction. 13.1a. 13.1a. Let me check that one. No, that is not the right subclause. Okay. Note down. Go to the subclause 14.1c. All of you. Go to the subclause 14.1c. Can you read that? What did it say? Any quantities which may be set out in the bill of quantities or other schedule are estimated quantity and are not to be taken as the actual and correct quantity. Can you mark down that not to be taken as a actual and correct quantity? Indicative only. Yes, it's approximate. Whereas in the 12.3a, we have the contradiction. It says if it is more than 10%, okay, you can go for a varied rate. Now, do you understand? That is problematic. Unless otherwise a lump sum contract, yes, then quantities are fixed, scope of works are fixed, it is varied, okay, you can go for a varied rate. So what I am trying to say, the draftment of this FIDIC contract, the teams drafted this contract, somehow, some places, they have the different mindset. They forgot this is a measure and value contract. And they forgot the characteristic of this contract. So that contradiction we have here. So the measured quantities more than change more than 10%. Definitely the approximate quantity will change like up and down, isn't it? Yes or no? It's approximate quantity. How do you know it's a final quantity? And it is clearly say in the 14.1c, it is not to be taken as accurate. So do you understand what I'm trying to say here? We have the contradiction here. Note down next to the 12.3a contradicting with the 14.1c. Can you do that? Note down under the 14.1c contradicting with the 12.3a. Can you do that marking? Whenever you read or whenever you study in the future, right? It will be very helpful. So this is a subclause you have to change.
Mr. Munas, can we understand from this that in subclause 12.3a, they are talking about if there is something vary happen and that quantity is changed by more than 10%. It's not talking about a fixed item in the BOQ. Correct me if I am wrong. So what I'm trying to say
Method
is
quantity, of the
yeah
item change
is
by more than the
so
quantity
it's
from the
changed.
BOQ. Let me finish.
Correct.
Yeah, it says BOQ quantity. That means already it is available in the BOQ, not a new item.
Correct. But that item
Yeah.
is changed. So if any item in the BOQ,
But
I will not measure it.
this is not going to work with the measure and value contract because those are approximate quantities. They don't have finalized the design.
Hmm.
So the scope of work is not clear. That's why they went for a measure and value. Otherwise, they're supposed to go for a lump sum. Right. So that contradiction is here. Okay, so try to understand. Is it clear, everybody, what I'm trying to say here? This is you have to be very careful because as a consultant, where you are going to have the trouble, contractor will come and ask, look, we have the subclause here. Now look at this measure and value BOQ. We have a quantity less. Now we change 50% high. So you have to give me the varied rate. Likewise, they will come and argue. Right. They are going to try to apply. So the consultant will feel difficulties. Second condition, no, there are 4 conditions they have given. Okay. So second condition they said, okay, first condition, okay, that quantity must be more than 10% from the BOQ quantity or other schedule. Second, this change in quantity multiplied by specified rate for this item exceed 0.1% of the accepted contract amount. Is another testing. So change in quantity, take the number of quantity, how much it is increased, and take the rate and take the total amount, see the percentage with the accepted contract amount. If it is exceed more than 0.1%, second test is passed. And the third test, change in quantity directly change the cost per unit quantity of this item more than 1%. Actually, it's a tricky. Okay, it's actually tricky subclause. See, in the measure and value, what we are agreeing? We are agreeing the rates, isn't it? We agree in the rate. So if you agree in the rate, if the quantities are changing, definitely you know that quantities are not final. If the quantities are changing and it is going to change the rate, contractor has now chance to claim the extra money. It is actually correct for the lump sum contract. Look at the subclause, very good for a lump sum contract, not good for a measure and value. It is actually contradicted. Now lump sum contract, what happened? You have the fixed scope of work, right? So fixed scope of work, you are going to price and you are going to fix the price. Now let's talk about the transportation cost of the material. Say for your project, okay, you are buying some materials. Okay, talk about the uh, bricks or blocks. Let's say 100,000 blocks you are going to buy, or let's say 10,000 blocks you are going to buy. Okay, so 1,000 blocks can be transported by one vehicle. You got some additional works, which is you need only 100 blocks. Tell me the transportation cost. Is it going to be same or less? It's going to be same, right? Doesn't matter you buy 100 or 200. The vehicle cost will be same. Oh, now if that the case, the changing the quantity ultimately going to change the cost per unit. Do you understand? It's going to be ultimately change the cost per unit because of some factor like transport. But is it applicable to the measure and value contract? They supposed to price the risk, isn't it? But it is giving the chance to go for a define a different rate. Do you understand what I'm talking here? Every one of you.
To be honest, not really. I'm a bit lost.
Okay, anyone understand? Can you explain what I'm trying to say here? Maybe you can tell differently.
Yes, as per your explanation that contractor should consider the risk of change of quantity. But because of the FIDIC condition, the contractor will not consider the risk and it will be the reasonable price. That is my point of view. If this
Correct.
condition is there.
Under the measure and value contract, you don't know that rate is okay for only particularly for this quantity, because that quantity available in the measure and value contract is an approximate quantity, and it is very clearly say in the FIDIC itself. Don't take it as accurate. Then how he can argue or tell no changing the price because of the change of the quantity? This is applicable. It's a very good subclause for a lump sum contract. Yes, if it is a lump sum contract, he can come and argue. Look, I have priced the item which is available in the BOQ. That is a scope of work or based on the contract drawing. Now, if you ask more, this is adding more cost for me. You can go for a varied rate. So, do you understand the Raffman out of FIDIC had a turbulent mindset when come to this some particular subclause? It's actually perfectly fitting for a lump sum contract. Okay. Now, there are fourth test. This item not specified in the contract as a fixed rate item. This is a subclause protecting the engineer. Okay, this the item not specified in the contract as a fixed rate item. Fixed rate item mean what? The rate not subject to the inflation. Okay. And if the rate mentioned as a fixed rate item, then none of this above clause shall be not applicable. That is also contradiction. Can you say after instructing the variation under the lump sum? Let's talk about lump sum. Up to 1, 2, 3, it's purely for a lump sum. Okay. Instruct the variation. Contractor, particularly, especially the 12.3A third one, change in quantity directly changes the cost per unit. Can you say that? No, I don't pay you much money because already we agree the rate. You have to bear your transportation risk. Is it a faith or good fair? It's a fair deal. What do you think? Can we do that one? We can't, isn't it? Because he doesn't agree that work under the lump sum. Okay. But under the measure and value, yes, this is correct. You can say it's a fixed rate item. So do you understand? Up to 1 to 3, it's good for a measure and lump sum, and 4th is good for a measure and value. So there's a small correction you have to do when you are doing a particular condition. Okay. Everybody understood? Yes or no? Possible that the client can take benefit of this contradiction. No, the contract preferendum will help for the contractor, not for a client. But why you are keeping such sub clauses? Right? Subclause 3 is not clear. Okay. Okay. Let's say I am very poor in the drawing. Okay. Let's say it is a transporting vehicle. Okay. So now let's say we can bring 1,000 bricks in a one transport, and you are going to pay $100 for one transport. Now let's say you had a additional work where you need only 100 bricks. How much you are going to pay for a transport? Tell me. Now you go to the
full truck,
will you
or in if we hire less quantity truck, it will be less.
then it will be less. Otherwise, if you don't have such any option, then you have to pay same amount of right money, right? So, okay, considering such a situation like what he said, okay, considering the same situation, okay, change in quantity directly changes the cost per unit. Now let us see the transportation cost here. Okay, it's different. Here it's going to be per unit going to be $1, right? Whereas this is going to be 0.1. So it's both different. So therefore, it's changing the cost per unit. So this scenario, you can go for a varied rate. That's what it says. But actually, that's not suitable for a measure and value contract.
Yeah. If quantity less, then contractor profit. If quantity more, then client profit. Simple.
Yeah. No, no. Anyhow, the rate is they already defined for a lump sum. That's fine. But for a measure and value, no, they have to take kind of a risk. So they have the risk premium within the rate. Knowing these all. Now is it clear for all of you?
So
Or
I have a
still you
small
have the
doubt.
clarification? Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, for the varied trade, all four condition must be meet, or even though if one condition is meeting with the scenario, we can go for a varied trade.
No, no, no. A, B, that the 12.3, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, all should be met. If one is failed, then you can't go. That's what they put testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Shall we go to the next one? Or if you have any question, you can ask.
Just one doubt.
Yeah.
If the changes the cost per unit is less than one, like if it is favorable to the employer, will it can we reduce the rate of the this one? What is it, that unit rate, or will the unit rate remain same?
Varied rate means it is not always talking about the higher side. Maybe you can go for a lower side also. Now think about differently. Now you are having the initially 100 quantities. Okay. Now the quantity is increased by 10-fold. Now you need 1,000 quantity. Now you can go for a buying gain, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So there you can, yeah, you can have the less rate. So it will be work for a both end.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Or it says another one. This is varied work. Okay. So note down the title for the 12.3b, varied work. But it says under this one, the work instructed under clause 13. As I'm telling, this is already covered under the variation lecture. The people attended up to batch number 26. You already went through with the subclause. But anyhow, we are repeating to understand. Okay. You remember, right? Mr. Roshan did this lecture to you all. Okay. So that says the work instructed under the subclause 13 variation. So it's very clear. The no rate or price specified in the contract for this item. Test 2. Test 3, no specified rate or price is appropriate because of the item of work is not of similar character or not executed under similar condition as any item in the contract. What did he say? This is instructed as a variation. There's no rate reference available within the BOQ. Ultimately, third one, we can't even derive the rate from the BOQ. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Okay, now, okay, let's talk about the switch. Okay, supply and installation of the switch. Supply is a different cost, installation is a different cost. Yes or no? Supply is a different cost, installation is a different cost.
Yes.
Now we have the variation. Okay, it is not a switch. You put the PowerPoint. We don't have this item in the BOQ. We have only the switch. This PowerPoint we don't have it. Tell me, can I use any of the rate from the BOQ for this? No, that is not similar. But there are chances I can arrive the rate. Supply rate I can take from the market, right? But installation rate, is it going to be different? What do you think? It's going to be same.
It should
So I
be
can
similar to the switch rate.
similar. Yeah. So we can take this same. So this is the third methodology we can derive, but none of them going to work for you. Then you have to go for a new rate. Third, in that case, okay. The third one we can say adjusted rate. Okay, adjusted rate. That means partially we use the BOQ component. Partially we are going for a new. So this is a new, completely this is a new, and this is adjusted rate. You are driving from the BOQ. Okay, clear? What I said. This is says very clearly is a new works. So each new rate or price shall be derived from any relevant rates or prices in the contract, the same way I explained you, with a reasonable adjustment to take account of the matters described in subparagraph A and or B as applicable. If no rates or prices are relevant for the derivation of the new rate or price, it shall be derived from the reasonable cost of executing the work together with the reasonable profit, taking account of any other relevant matters. Okay, so otherwise, if you can't derive the cost, like sometime, let's say some kind of a work comes to the project, like a special maintenance work or repair work, you can't quantify them. Go for a cost plus profit, that kind of mechanism. Okay, but the wording say reasonable profit. Now, what is a reasonable profit? 5%, 10%, or 30%? How do you know reasonable profit? You justify reasonable profit mean. Can't, right? So we have to agree what is a percentage in the contract. Do you agree with me? Don't put such a wording reasonable profit within the reasonable time frame. It's going to be a problem. Should be mentioned in the contract how much you can go for. So under 12.3, okay, you can agree. Okay, what is a reasonable profit in case you can't derive the rate? That percentage you can agree on the cost. So now question, can engineer hold the payment till he agree the rate for the varied work? Now let's say you got some instruction, you did, and still the rate is not finalized, so he will not pay. What do you think? That's the things we have to understand. Until such time as an appropriate rate or price is agreed or determined, the engineer say there's obligation. Determine provisional rate or price for the purpose of interim payment certificates. So do you understand? There should be a nominal payment. Okay, do you understand? There should be a nominal payment. You have to pay. You can't say zero because already cost is incurred. Okay. So,
Engineer,
yes.
can the contractor stop the work until they agree on rate?
Okay.
Can the contractor stop the work until they agree on a rate?
No. You can't delay no, you can't. It is already in the contract. Okay. It's already in the contract. Okay. You cannot delay these works. You are bound to do that one. Same time, they cannot also delay the payment or make it zero payment. They are also bound to do that payment.
Okay.
Partly bound by the contract. Okay. Okay. So subclause 12.4, just write down below. Whenever the omission of any works forms part or of a variation, the value of which has not been agreed if the contractor will incur or has incurred the cost if the work had not been omitted would have been deemed to be covered by some forming part of the accepted contract amount. The omission of the work will result or has resulted in some not forming part of the contract price. Anyhow, this part already covered under the variation lecture. Okay, I will just give you the explanation what the subclause talk. But anyhow, under the variation lecture, you will be covering again those people not attended. Okay, so what the subclause talk particularly omission of the agreed scope of. Okay, so the contractor is entitled for the compensation. Okay, for any cost that he incurred because of the omitted work under the variation. Like sometime what happened? Okay, he ordered the material, it's delivered or it's on the way. Okay, now engineer come and say we don't want, we have to omit this work. Do you think it's a zero cost? What do you think? Is it a zero cost? No, isn't it? It is not a zero cost. He already ordered the material because with the intention to complete the works. You can't say it's a zero cost. Or think about a scenario. That particular work supposed to be done by the subcontractor. He did the tendering to find the subcontractor. He taking on board. He mobilized at site. Now he is supposed to start the work. And he paid some advance to the subcontractor also. Can we say now it is zero cost? The material, it is something else. Can we say it is a zero cost because of the omission? Client can say, no, you didn't bring any material. Why should I pay you? That is the way the draftsman of this PDC, okay, they have understand. The omission of the work have some consequences. Like say, sometimes some work can be done by the specialist consultant or contractor. They have to travel from the different countries. So what about the flight ticket, visa, insurance, and the accommodation and their professional fees? He already on board now. Can we say it's free of charge? So that is why it is say, okay, contractor will incur or incur the cost because of this omission you have to pay. That's what it says. So remember,
Muted.
It's better to explain. That's right. So yes, wait for me. Regarding the claims, actually, I'm planning to do the claim expert program. Those people attending these lecture series, you all almost there with all the clauses. You know, small top up will make you contractually very strong for the claim. Okay, so I will arrange that program not now, after 2-3 months, because there's no days available. As you know, Monday we have the RICS, and Tuesday we have the AQS, and Wednesday there are ongoing MEP, and Thursday I'm going to spend the time with the final interview candidate. So there's no room for to do, but in the future we will do. So try to join that program. It will be very helpful if you want to practice as a claim consultant. Okay. So is there any other question?
Yes, I have one question, sir. One doubt.
Yeah.
While evaluating the cost of variation,
Hmm.
should we consider the preliminaries also, or should we keep it, because there will be some addition and some omission also?
No,
So
it
each
depends.
variation, should we consider the preliminaries in pro rata?
It depends. Okay. What do you price? Okay, what do you price normally for a variation? You have to be very clear. Now you reserve the right of extension of time, right? Yes or no? You reserve the right of extension of time because you don't know. Yeah, you don't know how much month you are going to delay or not. So therefore, some rights along with the extension of time, the prolongation cost how including the prelims item also. Do you aware about that one? What do you mean by prolongation cost? That's mostly having not the varied or variation scope of work. That is already covered under the variation. Where you don't cover such cost anywhere within the variation, those are going to added under the what? Prolongation cost. Now let's say under the variation, you are not going to add the extension of any warranties or any guarantees, right, for the project. It is separate. But let's say the project got now 2 month delay. Now we are going to add the bonds extension and insurance extension, isn't it? So that cannot be determined by a time you are preparing the cost proposal for the variation. So therefore, you reserve the rights through the prolongation claim. That is the best way. Okay, sometimes you are getting the additional scope of work. So it is going to increase the project by 2 months. And later on, you got some omission of scope of work where it's reducing the project by 2 months. Actually, the project not going to change. So you can't claim now. So you have to wait until some time. Consultant also aware. So you keep on submitting the claim particulars until that such event is closed. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
So I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, can you? Okay. So you said it's better not to use the claim subclause 20. Better go for variation 13. So what happen if in the 13.1 there is a 13.1 D? It is mentioning that omission of any work unless it is to be carried out by others. So the client is issuing a omission and it is going to be carried out by others. So we can't claim under the variation, right?
No, this is not allowed under the contract, isn't it?
Yes.
It is not allowed. It is not an ethical practice. You just take some part and give to others because of some cost benefit. Then it is going to be a claims or dispute. Okay. It's going to be a claim or dispute.
Okay, sir.
Can you
Hello?
give an example for 12.4? Okay, I told you, regarding, like, say, Tausif, you are listening, right? So let's say omission of work. Client come and say, okay, I don't want this particular floor tiles. Just omit this particular floor tiles, no need. You already ordered and it's delivered now. What you can do with the tiles which is delivered? That material you want to claim, isn't it? So such situation, okay, you have to claim your cost. Okay, is it clear for you? Is this example make you sense?
But the work had not been omitted, right, sir?
No, work is omitted, then only you are claiming. If the work not omitted, then you can't claim. Let's say client say, okay, I don't want this area to be tiled. Okay, I don't want.
Okay.
Then there's no tiling work in that area. At omission, you already order the material including the full area. Okay. So that time, that situation, okay, trigger some additional cost for you. That's why I say contractor will incur or has incurred cost. Okay, that's the reason. Sometimes say you had a omission instruction, you did nothing, then you can claim the omission value, but there's a loss of profit. But if you go for a loss of profit, it is not just because of one omission, because there are so many addition. You have to see your variation log. You have to see the variation log. How much now variation log so? Is it minus or plus? If the variation total value, the variation log total value says minus, then yes, you can have the chance. Okay, if there's no such a value available, okay, like it is turbulent now, it's sometime plus, sometime zero, sometime minus, then you have to wait until sometime, but reserve the rights through the notification. Okay, sometime you can make a zero claim, like okay, you keep on submitting the claim particular, finally you say no cost. That's fine. Okay, anything? Okay, the very important point I want to tell you all the attendees of this AQS, you have the aims of the RICS, right? That's why you are working, most of you. Yes, most of you have the aim. The real achievement for me, okay, before you get your MRICS, if you attend my lecture carefully in the way I request, study the component, what I am saying, it make you to the different level. Before you get the MRICS, your salary already double, triple. This is I am telling from my experience. I'm not just trying to motivate you blindly. I'm just telling from my experience. Now the industry have lots of people, but the real knowledge is not there. The employer want the right people. Okay, if you practice the way I am telling, the way you understand, okay, you can do a massive things in the job, and the employer wants such people only. So many people don't realize, but I'm telling from my experience. Study very well the subject what we learn here. It's going to help you with the salary hike and the position change. If you don't do, then you are doing a mistake. Try to understand that. If you from my experience, okay, I'm telling what I achieved. The not just MRI. Say MRIC's titles. I have seen a lot of people. This is not really achievement for me. The real achievement what I have, I changed someone from 5,000 to 30,000 plus. This is achievement for me within 2-3 years. See how many fold their salary hike. Worst case, they end up with the 20,000 from less than 10,000. So double or triple. This is a real achievement. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Don't underestimate this training. And I'm going to give you so many samples, so many work example. I'm going to give. It's going to help you a lot. So it's not a one side lecturing. Okay, other side you have to practice. So that's what I am asking you to mark there, mark here, right here. Really, when you get into the trouble, go back to my guidance. It will be very helpful for you. Okay. So that's all, ladies and gentlemen. See you all with the next class. Good night to everyone.